Hello and welcome to In Depth. I'm Tina Jha. The Enforcement Directorate has filed its first direct charge sheet against controversial Islamic preacher Zakir Naik on charges of laundering criminal money to the tune of 193 crore rupees and also allegedly creating illegal real estate assets worth crores in India as well as abroad. The agency said most of Zakir Naik's speeches from 2007 and 2011 were planned, organized, funded as well as promoted by the Mumbai-based Islamic Research Foundation, which is owned and promoted by Zakir Naik. Zakir Naik is accused of promoting a radical form of Islam on the channel Peace TV, which broadcasts from Dubai. Now, this channel is banned in India since 2012. Bangladesh banned the channel in 2016 after a deadly attack on a cafe in Dhaka left 22 people dead. Earlier this week, Sri Lanka's major cable TV operators removed Peace TV from their channel list in the wake of the deadly Easter Sunday bombings that killed more than 300 people. Today in Depth, we look at the charges made by the Enforcement Directorate against Zakir Naik in its charge sheet and the controversy surrounding the Islamic preacher. So the Enforcement Directorate this week filed a charge sheet against controversial Islamic preacher Zakir Naik in a Mumbai court on charges of laundering criminal money to the tune of 193 crore rupees. Details of the charge sheet against Zakir Naik in our next report.
The Enforcement Directorate has filed its first direct charge sheet against controversial Islamic preacher Zakir Naik. Naik has been accused of money laundering. The ED has said it has identified assets worth 193 crore rupees and illegal real estate assets worth crores in India and abroad. The assets include investments in mutual funds, the Islamic International School building in Chennai, 10 flats, 3 godowns, 2 buildings and land in Pune and Mumbai besides 10 bank accounts. The ED has also identified properties linked to Naik in Dubai and London. The charge sheet was filed in the Mumbai Special Court under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. This is the second charge sheet in the case by the Enforcement Directorate, but it is the first against Naik that specifically underlines his role.
Actual complaint was filed by National Investigative Agency in 2016 for unlawful activities that he is undertaking under Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, and there if you see the penalty is up to death also, and the moment this was filed he ran away from the country and is living in exile in Malaysia right now.
The Enforcement Directorate's investigation is based on an FIR lodged by the National Investigation Agency for Naik's alleged role in unlawful activities by using provocative speeches. The ED accuses Naik of making inflammatory speeches and lectures that have inspired and incited a number of Muslim youths in India to commit unlawful activities and terrorist acts. The investigative agency also added that Zakir Naik's thoughts created disharmony among various faiths and created hatred among people following different faiths.
See, the case is as an offshoot of that FIR by the National Investigative Agency. Certain aspects of money laundering has been found. You know what money laundering is? Where you conceal the source of your illegal money through banking transactions or commercial transactions. And that is where he has used this money and invested in real estates and also, inciting, organizing so-called peace conferences to incite youngsters and others to undertake religious extremism and terrorism.
The agency said most of Zakir Naik's speeches from 2007 and 2011 were planned, organized, funded and promoted by the Mumbai-based Islamic Research Foundation. The IRF is owned and promoted by Naik. 53-year-old Naik promotes a radical form of Islam on the channel Peace TV, which broadcasts from Dubai. The channel is banned in India since 2012. Bangladesh banned the channel in 2016 after a deadly attack on a cafe in capital Dhaka left 22 people dead. Earlier this week, Sri Lanka's major cable operators removed Peace TV from their channel list in wake of the deadly Easter Sunday bombings that killed at least 250 people.
Zakir Naik uses his Peace TV network and promotes hatred and terrorism. That is why it has been banned in India and in other nations also. He also uses a lot of money which he illegally gets, and for which he also hides the sources of this money to incite terrorism and also to convert people of other faiths into Islam in India. Induced conversion, which is illegal. Forced and induced conversion is illegal in India. And his Islamic Research Foundation is actively involved, which is also investigation and has been banned in India. So one has to be very, very careful, because he uses various ways, and tries to use the financial system in order to promote his nefarious activities.
In the charge sheet, the agency has also alleged that the money trail probe against Naik and his associates revealed that IRF received an amount of 64.86 crore rupees between 2003-2004 and 2016-2017, mostly from dubious sources. A majority of these funds were used to organize conferences where provocative speeches and conversion to Islam was propagated. The probe agency has till now arrested two of Naik's aides, Amir Gazdar and Najamuddin Sathak, while Naik is absconding and lives in Malaysia. With inputs from Astha Kulshresht, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Zakir Naik is a 52-year-old Indian Islamic preacher and has aroused controversy with his Puritan brand of Islam. He has been accused of causing disaffection along religious lines and inciting youth through his speeches. Here's a report about Naik's journey to becoming one of the world's most controversial preachers.
Zakir Abdul Karim Naik is an Indian Islamic preacher and the founder and president of the Islamic Research Foundation. Till a few years ago, he was called an authority on comparative religion and an influential Salafi ideologue in India. Before becoming a public speaker, Naik was trained as a physician. Unlike many Islamic preachers, his lectures were colloquial, given in English, not Urdu or Arabic. He was usually seen wearing a suit and tie. Zakir Naik is currently on the wanted list by Interpol and Indian National Investigation Agency. Indian authorities have accused him of spreading hate speech and inciting terrorism.
He's an extremist religious preacher of Islam following Wahhabi and Salafi thought of Saudi Arabia, and which is what he's using in India to incite youngsters and others against the sovereignty and integrity of India, and also inspiring them to undertake the acts of terrorism.
Born in Mumbai on 18th October 1965, Zakir Naik studied a Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery from the University of Mumbai. In 1987, Naik met a South African Islamic preacher, Ahmed Deedat, and was heavily influenced by him. In 1991, Naik started preaching Islam and founded the Islamic Research Foundation. Naik is often described as radical televangelist. He founded Peace TV, a 24-hour channel that broadcast his speeches and programs. Naik claimed the channel is intended to bring clarity about Islam and its tenets to Muslims. Peace TV is uplinked from Dubai and reportedly has a viewership of over 200 million across the globe. In 2012, the Indian government banned the channel. After a terror attack in Dhaka that killed 22 people, it was banned in Bangladesh as well. Apart from Peace TV, Naik also uses social media to spread his speeches. He has 16 million followers on Facebook, 150,000 on Twitter, and has given more than 4,000 lectures on Islam across the world. According to the Middle East Monitor, Naik was granted citizenship by Saudi Arabia in 2017. On 18th July 2017, India revoked Naik's passport after a recommendation from the National Investigation Agency. On 28th July 2017, the NIA declared Naik an offender and initiated a process to attach his assets. Naik moved to Malaysia in 2017 and currently lives there and has permanent resident status. Zakir Naik's fundamentalist approach to religion has always been controversial. According to BBC, many detained Al-Qaeda followers reportedly told officials that he was a huge influence on them. Naik's inflammatory views and teachings have brought him scathing criticism. According to the confusion around his troublesome and destructive exposition of Islam, Naik had acquired an air of respectability with awards and honors. In 2010, he was ranked 89 by a leading Indian publication in its list of 100 most powerful Indians in 2010. In July 2013, Naik was named as the Islamic Personality of the Year, announced by the 17th Dubai International Holy Quran Award. Outside the Islamic world, Naik was a controversial figure and troublemaker.
When you give these kinds of hateful and inciting speeches, some of these youngsters who get brainwashed and they take up arms against the state and also against the other religions also. And this is how the Dhaka Cafe attack took place. And similarly in India also, he has also inspired some of the Al-Qaeda terrorists also. So one has to be very, very careful and control these people, and we hope that he is extradited as soon as possible into India, and the law takes its own course and he's put behind bar.
In 2006, Naik's visit and conference in Cardiff caused controversy when Welsh MP David Davis called for his appearance to be cancelled. In 2010, Naik was denied entry into the United Kingdom and Canada. However, it was in July 2016 when he really came to international attention after a deadly attack on the Holy Artisan Cafe in Dhaka. The Bangladeshi media claimed that one of the gunmen was inspired by his speeches. Later that month, the Bangladeshi government banned Peace TV. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And time for a short break on the program. When we return, we'll tell you why Zakir Naik is considered to be a big threat to India's internal security. We'll be right back.
Watch The Big Picture with me, Frank Rausen Pereira, at 6:30 p.m. Watch The Big Picture with me, Frank Rausen Pereira, at 6:30 p.m.
नेता बेशक राजनीति करें, लेकिन जनता का तो असली मतलब होता है अर्थनीति से, यानी वो नीतियां जो हमारी जेब पर असर डालें या फिर सुविधाओं में इजाफा करें। कैसा है भारत का आर्थिक वातावरण और क्या है हमारी चुनौतियां? सरल भाषा में आपके ये बुनियादी आर्थिक मुद्दे आप तक पहुंचाने के लिए राज्यसभा टीवी ने शुरू किया है ये खास कार्यक्रम अर्थनीति।
Welcome back. You're watching In Depth. Zakir Naik has long been considered as a huge threat to India's internal security as well as to its diversity. India's stand has always been that Zakir Naik has been promoting enmity and hatred between different religious groups in India through his public speeches and lectures.
Zakir Naik has been on the most wanted list of Indian authorities for over a decade. The doctor turned Islamic preacher has been a figure of controversy since the early 1990s. Surprisingly and wrongly, Zakir Naik has insisted that his work of converting people into Islam is allowed by the constitution that permits every citizen to follow and propagate their religion. Some state governments have also accused Nayak of using sectarian language, while parody videos made fun of his illogical arguments. Many media reports have said that at one of his public talks, Nayak called on all Muslims to become terrorists.
There's a huge gap between what hate speech is and an act of terrorism, right? Hate speech is seen as a major propagator towards an act of terrorism, and Zakir Naik is known as one of the more prominent speakers or giving sermons online. And it's not just online, it's, of course he has a TV channel of its own. So whether the aspect of terror comes into play or not is a separate question, but clamping down on these kind of speeches is similar to what we even saw in Sri Lanka as well, where the NTJ chief was known to spread his sermons online on video and were popular in some parts of southern India as well and within Sri Lanka. So it's really hard though, because the platforms to commit these kind of propaganda output are many of them, and their servers are not necessarily in the country where the propaganda is being created. It's a very big legal tangle. So an easier way to try and clamp down on these activities is to target that individual person and that individual person's financial highways, instead of just going for, let's say, one of the platforms or one of the companies that actually host the mediums.
Zakir Naik claimed that his aim was to concentrate on the educated Muslim youth who have become apologetic about their own religion. Islam is a religion of reason and logic, and the Quran contains 1,000 verses relating to science, which he says explains the number of Western converts. Zakir Naik has held many debates and lectures and is said to have delivered over 2,000 lectures around the world. Some of his alleged controversies include remarks on purported Islamic supremacy. According to Zakir Naik, Islam is the best religion. He also claimed that Islam is the most tolerant religion when it comes to promoting human values. On the punishment for stealing, Naik has cold-heartedly stated that those guilty must be punished by chopping hands. On women's rights, he has even claimed that it is permissible to beat one's wife gently. He has added to further outrage by claiming that as far as the family is concerned, a man is the leader. On homosexuality, he termed LGBT community as patients suffering from sinful mental problems. Naik has also blamed the TV channels for the same. On criticism of media, Naik has called the media the most important tool, rather the most dangerous weapon in the world, which converts black into white and a villain into a hero. He suggested that media should be used to remove the misconceptions, misquotations, misinterpretations, and misrepresentations about Islam.
And one has to be very, very careful, because if you look in Dhaka, also one of the gunmen was inspired by the Zakir Naik. There has also been ban on Zakir Naik's entry in Bangladesh, and in 2010 it has been in United Kingdom also. So all over the world you can see that he has been spreading hate and inciting people about terrorism and various other unlawful activities also.
Naik, who has been banned in the UK, has been given permanent residency in Malaysia. Critics see Naik's presence in Malaysia as another sign of top-level support for hardline Islam in a country with substantial minorities of Christians, Hindus and Buddhists, and which has long projected a moderate Islamic image. India's stand has always been that Zakir Naik has been promoting enmity and hatred between different religious groups in India through public speeches and lectures. With inputs from Astha Kulshresht, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
When we talk about the hate speech laws in India, we mean the laws that are established for the protection of the interests and rights of the people living in society. Hate speech is one of the most serious concerns in a country like India, as the Indian law does not use the term hate speech. These hate speech laws in the country have been established so as to punish anybody who is causing great distress or is violating the religious feelings of any individual, so as to punish such persons so that these kind of activities do not take place again. Let's take a look at this report to find out about the various laws in our constitution which prohibit hate speech.
Hate speech laws in the country aim to punish anybody who causes distress or violate religious feelings of other individuals. These laws are intended to prevent discord among the many ethnic and religious communities. They allow a citizen to seek punishment of anyone who shows him disrespect on grounds of religion, race, place of birth, residence, language, caste or community, or any other ground whatsoever which is a violation of fundamental rights. The laws specifically forbid anyone from outraging someone's religious feelings.
There are various laws here, like under UAPA, if somebody uses the money and indulges in this kind of acts, then the punishment can be death also, from 7 years to 10 years death penalty. Under money laundering, it is from 3 years to 10 years. There are provisions in it where it is 3 to 7 years also, and from 7 to 10 years also if you use this money, and the provisions are attracted of Psychotropic and Drug Substances Act and other acts also.
India's constitution does not provide for a state religion. Article 25(1) states, subject to public order, morality and health and to the other provisions of this part, all persons are equally entitled to freedom of conscience and the right freely to profess, practice and propagate religion. Article 19 gives all citizens the right to freedom of speech and expression, but subject to reasonable restrictions for preserving inter alia public order, decency or morality. Article 28 prohibits any religious instruction in any educational institution wholly maintained out of state funds. India prohibits hate speech by several sections of the Indian Penal Code, the Code of Criminal Procedure, and by other laws which put limitation to the freedom of expression. Section 95 of the Code of Criminal Procedure gives the government the right to declare certain publications forfeited if they contain any matter punishable under Section 124A or Section 153A or Section 153B or Section 292 or Section 293 or Section 295A of the Indian Penal Code. Section 153A prohibits words spoken or written that promote or attempt to promote disharmony or feelings of enmity, hatred or ill will between different religious, racial, language or regional groups or castes or communities. Part B defines acts that disturb harmony between different religious, racial, language or regional groups or castes or communities, and which disturbs or is likely to disturb public tranquility. Such offences will be punished with jail up to 3 years or with fine or both. Section 295A prosecutes acts triggered by malicious intentions to outrage religious feelings of any class of citizens of India by words either spoken or written, insults or attempts to insult religion or religious beliefs of that class. Punishment may extend to 3 years or with fine or with both.
One of the best ways to try and clamp down on someone like Zakir Naik, who has a vast, intricate network worth according to some reports, worth $20 million or roundabout, is to target the financial highways. The financial highways that he's using to air his TV channels, propagate his speeches, promote his speeches. You know how social media is now, you need money to even promote content. So I think one of the best ways is, of course, doing that, and that's what ED has done, and that's what the charge sheet is about. It's trying to clamp down on his financial methods more than the money itself. It's about sort of trying to block the highways of money transfer, specifically into India. This is sort of a very India-controlled move.
The range of actions which arise from such uses of law include banning of various books, criminal proceedings, barring online content. There are also efforts to make these laws even more stringent to strike a balance between values of dignity, liberty and equality. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
So that's it from us in today's edition of In Depth. You can also watch our program online on YouTube and Twitter and send us your valuable feedback and suggestions about our program. Thank you very much for your time.